Hi, I'm Ken Lee from InnovaCorp. We're going to be talking about fundamentals of a great pitch today. We're kind of on the end slide. This is kind of the closing slide, which talks about your current status. So prior to this, we outlined that there's a good opportunity, that you've created a solution, you've got the management team that can execute on it, you've defined a good marketing strategy, and you've showed how much money that that this opportunity is going to create. So this is the end slide where you want to talk about where you are now. So if you're just developing something, then that's okay too, right? So you don't have to think that you have to have the full scale. I've seen a lot of people crash when they're in a race, and it could be a hurdle race, but they're doing the 100-meter sprint, right? So they're going to that finish line as fast as possible. But it's better if you know who you are and be able to articulate at what stage you're at, and then you can judge accordingly. So on my analogy about the hurdle, if you were to run through those hurdles as a 100-meter sprint, you're going to crash and burn, scrape your knees, right? But if you know that there's a hurdle, that's the thing you need to focus on, and then the next hurdle and the next hurdle, then eventually you'll get to the finish line. That's what I mean by knowing where you are now. And investors want to hear that, right? They want to know that you're not, you're not misinformed about what you think you might be. They rather know that, hey, I'm a startup, I'm pre-prototype, I'm still learning, what the market strategy might be, but here's my best crack at it. If the stage of development matches what you know, then that's fine. You just have to know where you are, right? So on that basis, if you're developing something, they want to know, I've just outlined the architecture on a napkin, or hey, I've built something, or just give them some sense where you're at with the development, or you're into market, you've sold something, and you want to raise money to get to the next market for some reason, right? Or as an example. That's all examples of knowing where your status of your development is. What you want to focus on is what's the near-term future. That's kind of real, right? So the next up to 6 months is kind of like, if you're able to articulate that should be nailed down pretty solid, right? What am I going to do in the next 6 months? You want to be able to talk about that, and how am I going to use the funds over the next 6 months. Typically, you want to associate use of funds to some kind of measurable milestone. So you don't want you don't want the investor to think, I'm going to just put money in and it's going into just a pit. You want to sort of show them over the next 6 months, here's what I'm going to achieve, and here's what I'm going to deliver. So then you can have a better feeling that your funds are going into good use. The other thing is leveraging of funds. So what we mean by that is you may be able to raise a certain amount. So that on its own might be good. But if you can tap the power of taking those funds that you raised and raise even more funds, sort of like your equity position, then you want to talk about that as well. There could be also government programs that are in there as well. There are some government programs that pay for 75% if you can come up with the 25%, as an example. So this is where you want to be able to talk about this type of thing. This is also where you want to leave them with a feeling that you've done stuff in the past. Maybe you've had other successes with other companies. Show them what companies you might have built and sold, or you still have. But you also want to, for this particular business opportunity, show them what you've created. So you might have patented something in July and show sort of the sequence of significant milestones that you've accomplished. And then you also want to show what your future milestones are. So, okay, I'm going to put money into you, so what are you going to deliver in the next 6 months or a year, whatever makes sense as a near-term window for you. So you want to show future milestones as well. So some tips on this. If you have good positive momentum and traction, it could be one sale. Maybe you've set up the company that you're going to sell 1,000 units a year, but you're just out of the gate. You sold one to some major player, some major customer, That's all really good stuff. So you need to share details of any positive momentums or tractions. So small successes, those are all good because, again, we're at this early stage where you're minimizing the risk, right? You want to show them, you want to give them that comfy blanket. Nothing says it better than showing what you've achieved, significant milestones that you've achieved, especially if you've sold some things, right? That's a really good story. Some people kind of dismiss that oh, it's just one sale. It's not. I can't really talk about that. It's not really a great story, right? I'm going for the 1,000 unit sale. But at the stage that early stage companies are at, that is go. Depending on who it is you sold to. If it was your Aunt Nellie, maybe not so good. But if it was Boeing or something like that, that's good stuff. So in here, you want to kind of close with reiterating your 3 key messages. Typically, they are about why you're unique, so your underlying magic, that it's a large market that you're going after, that there's high growth, and that you have a significant competitive advantage, and that you have the management to execute on it. Something in those lines. If you can fit it in there as a closing remark, that you always kind of hear the last few bullets when you close. So that's the things. These are the things you want to leave them with when you close the pitch. And when you close the pitch, you want to keep it open for questions and answers. If you haven't been bombarded with them already throughout the pitch, you want to just ask if everyone has any more questions and thank everyone. And that is, I think, the end of it. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and wish you all the luck in your future endeavors, whether it's business competitions or opening your own business or going into other businesses and gaining new markets. I think all of this stuff is relevant.